Hi. Okay, so video 2. Here we go. Hopefully you saw my first video, just explaining what it is that I'm doing. I don't want to keep repeating myself over and over again. So I'm really self-conscious doing this. I don't think I'm very good at. I don't think I'm meant to be a video maker. So we'll just keep going. So what I want to talk about right now is what I've been up to recently in regards to, you know, my abuse and my story. So I've just recently actually stood up to 2 people that abused me in the past, and I've been doing some other things as well, like you know, just distancing myself from certain, you know, negative things and things that don't make you feel good, and just trying to live a more positive life, really. Just ultimately that's all I'm trying to do. And so for years and years I have thought about standing up to, well, not everybody that abused me, but one particular person that did do some, you know, pretty, you know, there's this one person from my past, and they, you know, it was a very like confusing and yeah, complex situation, and for years I have had it in my head to confront that head on and just go for it. And I had no idea it was coming when I did it. I've been thinking about it a lot more this year, you know, since the beginning of this year, and I had written what I wrote. I had to write it out about 5 times before I was happy with it to send, and then it was sitting there for a while, and I'd told a few people that I had written it, and then one day I just randomly sent it, and I didn't know I was going to do it, and I didn't know, and it just happened. And so I did that, and it completely, doing that, I learnt a lot, and through doing it as well, I realised I'm not taking anybody else's crap. I'm not going to do that anymore, and it's really had this massive knock-on effect on the rest of my life. Standing up to this one person has like made me realise I can do that, and I've stood up to a bunch of other people now as well, and including somebody that I never thought I would be able to do. So it's had this incredible effect on my life, and what I wanted to say was, before you confront somebody that like abused you or mistreated you, it can feel like a completely insurmountable task. You know, I said before I did it, it feels like monolithic. It feels like I just can't do this. You know, this is absolutely terrifying. And as soon as it was done, and I realised, you know, these people, they are just people, and when you're an adult, you have power, and you can stand up for yourself. You can do that, and it took me a really long time to figure that out for myself. So what I want to say really is that, like, if I can do it, you can do it. You know, whether, you know, if you have been abused and you do think about confronting the situation, you can do it. I think this is what I want to say. You know, I never thought that I would be able to. I remember when I was younger, when I was about, I think I was about 19 or 20, no, I think I was 19, I started uncovering some repressed memories, and I remember I didn't know what the hell to do about that, and I didn't want to tell anybody in real life yet, and I went online and spoke anonymously to some other people that had been through the same things, and I so through sharing that made me feel a hell of a lot better. And so then I went on to, for a long time I used to actually go on there regularly and try and give advice to other people that had been through similar things, and I did that for quite a long time, and I always told people to confront and face it and not run away, and I wasn't doing that myself. I think it's easy to give advice, and I think it's true, and sometimes it's not so easy to actually do it yourself. I remember there was one young man that I spoke to, and he had been abused, and he was looking for answers, and I gave him some advice that I thought was right. And a couple of weeks later, after I'd done that, I got a private message from this guy, and he said that he had confronted his abusers, and it was because of advice I'd given him, and that he was like so happy, and he was like excited, and he was saying, this thing you told me, like it's thank you, it's changed my life. That's what he said. He wouldn't have been able to do that without what I said to him, and obviously that made me feel so good. And when I've always felt good about that, and when I look back on it, but just recently I've been thinking about that guy a lot, just because I gave him that advice. How old am I now? 26. So I gave him that advice like 7 years ago, and he took my advice, and now I've finally taken my own advice, and I can see now, I see it, like I understand why he was so happy, and that's awesome. So I feel like I'm rambling a lot. I don't know why I'm telling this story. I wasn't intending to tell that story. I don't know why I'm going into that. Where did I want to go with this? I can't actually. I wrote some things down this time because I wanted to plan this out better. I think what I wanted to say here was more like about, oh my god, I'm so sorry, this is going off track already. Sorry. What do I want to say? I guess what I would say about this is when I went about this, I think there's different approaches for different people. So what I want to say next isn't, I don't want to seem like I'm advocating for my approach, because obviously there's different people need to do things differently. We all have different personalities, so it's all going to work. What works for me wouldn't necessarily work for somebody else. But when I confronted the one person, which was the scariest, doing it the first time, I went about it in a very really, really honest way, brutally honest, but very compassionate as well. I went about it very gently, and when I was during the process, I was questioning why I had started and why I was scared. I regretted beginning it. I did regret that during the process, and then I was thinking, I don't feel better. Why have I done this? I don't feel any better. This is just going to make me feel worse. I can't. And I was so gutted because it was something I'd thought about for so long, and I was terrified during the process that I was actually going to make things worse. It wasn't going to make me feel better, and there was never going to be an answer. And I found, when I wrote what I knew would be my final words on the matter, I found my answer in that. So the answer came from me. I think that when you've been abused, it's very, very normal to sort of imagine that you're in so much pain, and you always imagine that the person that caused you the pain is just going to hand you the answer. You're just going to say something to them. You're going to say you did this, and they're going to say this answer, and you're going to feel better. That's your little fantasy that you've got in your head. And what I learned through doing it is that the answer was from me, and the answer was actually me. The answer that I got was an answer on who I am. I have problems with my identity. I don't really know who I am because I was abused for so long, and you always have doubts, am I who I would have been? And I, I'll go more into that in another video because this is already getting long, but I found that when I did the things that I've been doing, I never ever lost my compassion, and I guess like that was who I was, and that was my answer for me. My answer was, no matter how much a person can hurt you or how much you're pushed, I guess if there's something about you that is completely unchanging, in any circumstance, then that must be truly who you are, mustn't it? That's like you in essence, that really truly is. And so I found that one answer for myself, and that was really nice. That was lovely to really feel that, like I'd uncovered a trait that is unwavering in myself, and that made me happy. So I did, get that answer, and yeah, so this video is getting long already, so I think I'm just going to end this one and, go into another one, and, I want to keep these quite short and not too rambly, so I don't know if I actually said anything of any use in this one. I don't think I did, so we'll just see how we'll see when we put them all together if they make any sense. And thank you so much for watching this. This one got a bit long, and I'm sorry, it wasn't my intention, but yeah, okay, thank you.